But right now we've got shoulder tap, and I'm sitting in for the Hogue with our good friend Mick Aranimo. Mick, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you, Eddie. What's up? Good to be on here with you today.
It's been a long time, my friend.
It feels like it's been a little while. We got some
Good to
good
see
stuff
you.
cooking today. Good to see you too.
Really?
Yeah, we do. We do. Let's hop right into it. Want to start with talking about one of our traders who was talked about just recently on the previous segment, Carlos L. There was some 41-day win streak there that I'm proud to say is a 42-day win streak. So if we could get Carlos's trading card up. While we're doing that, though, shout out to some of our live traders. John R., who I've talked about a couple times over the last few weeks, and his live account is up $8,000 today. So good for him. We see those big swings out of John a lot, but swings aside, and this is kind of opposite end of the spectrum from these big swings, is Carlos. You guys were just talking about him. He's on a 42-day win streak, including today. Wow. He's up about $47. And
crazy.
I wanted to talk about his trading a little bit because, 100% winning days across 42 days. That's extremely impressive. And I wanted to dive in a little bit and kind of talk about what Carlos is doing in his trading. He's been in his live account today was day 8 in the live account. So this win streak carried over from express funded to live account. And, when you see someone on a 42-day win streak, it tells you a couple things. One, they're a good trader. They're consistently profitable. I kind of wanted to dissect this a little bit with you, Eddie, because Carlos, as you can see, his average daily P&L is only $46. So he's a very small trader. He's trading NASDAQ and micro NASDAQ, trading equally about both of them. So he's kind of a trader that he's in these trades for very short periods of time, 1 minute holds. So he's kind of someone who, puts something on and then, picks up the dollar on the sidewalk. It goes into his favor, quick to grab the money. It's working out for him. He doesn't have a massive account balance, but he's consistently profitable. And as I was, overhearing Carlos being brought up earlier and seeing what some of our other traders are doing and what Carlos is doing, I wanted to ask the question or start the conversation of, how do you measure yourself as a good trader? And this is for the viewers out there. Are you measuring yourself over consistent profitability, even if it's only $46 a day, or are you kind of measuring your success as a trader based off of, the account balance or how many, how much, I guess the account balance, how much money you've put together. I think there's room and opportunity to kind of talk about both of those things. But right off the bat, Eddie, what are your thoughts on that? What do you like? And what would you consider being, the thing that stands out most to define yourself as a good trader or not?
Well, as far as my trading goes, I'm looking for small profits. I'll take 100, 200, whatever, $300, and I'll call it a day. Okay. Not in a rush. Okay. But I'm looking for consistency. Now, let's put it into perspective. I mean, if you went to the corner gas station, got a scratch off ticket, and it was a $50 winner every day, would you keep going to the gas station and getting that scratch off ticket? I'm sure that you would. Right. Because that's just adding on. And obviously Carlos is not in a hurry. All right. Patience, discipline, management. But he is moving forward. And that's what we have to really focus on, to ask ourselves, am I moving forward in my trading, whether it be profits, consistency, or just learning how to trade even better? And I mean, it's small, but it's impressive. Okay. Greed is not a factor here.
It's small. It's impressive. He's doing it trading 1 to 3 contracts. Going back to the question, what defines a good trader? I lean on the same side as you. Like, I want to see consistent profitability. The money is kind of the scoreboard, but the scoreboard doesn't always, point out who's the better trader. And this is a unique strategy we don't see a lot. The short time frame holds, small profits like this, but Carlos might not have as large an account balance as many of our other funded traders. He
Right.
might not have, and he actually hasn't taken any payouts in this live account. Again, it's only 7 or 8 days in the live account, but I'd like to see, regular payouts from this trader. I know they were actually taking some payouts in the express funded account, so that's good there. If he's going to keep this up, I'd like to see him continue taking regular payouts. I think that Carlos is in a unique he's in a unique place here where he really has the ability to ramp up what he's doing a little bit in order to scale this and kind of translate some of that trading success into how much you're financially taking down success, because he is trading 1 to 3 contracts, but if he's doing what he's doing now, I would encourage him to, and maybe he's trading exactly in his comfort zone, but there's an opportunity here. If you're doing this with 1 to 3 contracts, maybe you could do it with 3 to 6 contracts, and then you could see that average daily P&L, increase. And if you're putting up a 42-day win streak with very, very high winning trade percentages, like there's a really cool opportunity here for Carlos to kind of put the pedal down. And I'm not in a position where I'd say I want to see him doing that, because I'd really want to have a conversation with him first about his comfort zone. Because if he's in his comfort zone, then that's not something you want to change. But if he has the ambition to, scale what he's doing, there's opportunity there, because with this kind of performance, he's in a really good place to do that. So,
Right.
again,
You
kind of
know,
an anomaly here.
yeah. Mick, there's some comments coming in the chat here regarding you got to make $200 a day to take payouts. Okay. Another
Yeah,
comment
that's true.
is you can't pay yourself at $50 a day. So what's the point? Um, Timothy doesn't get it. How are we going to get around this? Is this where you're going to pull him aside and talk to him and say, maybe hit that gas pedal a little bit more? Let's see a little bigger profits. What are you going to what are you going to talk to him about?
Well, I want to get it. I'm not gonna tell him to do anything. What
Okay.
he's doing right. I want to get a better understanding of thought process. I actually put in a call to him earlier today, left him a voicemail. I want to hear what he's doing, because when someone's trading this well, you're not going to be telling. I have no areas for improvement on here. There's almost always an
Okay.
area, to improve. I could talk about scaling if he wants to, scale his business with this, but if he's in his comfort zone, we're not going to change that. I'm not sure, you said someone made a comment about not understanding it. They're trading small and they're taking little bites out of the market. And they're consistently doing that pretty nicely, 74% winning trades to get the 100% winning days. So it's all right there. I personally, they are, in regards to the payouts, they are having, winning days of, $200 or more. This just kind of pans out over the course of this account. Currently, it's $46, on average per one
On
of these winning
average.
days.
There you
Yeah,
go.
so there's been smaller, but again, super small sample size. I'm going off of the live stuff,
Mhm.
not the XFAs here on this trading card. So yeah, Carlos is going to be in a fine position, as far as the winning days, because they are having winning days over $200 or more in the live account. I've seen it in the express funded account too, that they traded, well over 30 days in. So kind of
Right.
something, fun to share here. I know we've been talking about him on the win streak. I wanted to show a trading card for him and talk about this, unique trading that I'm seeing out of him here. But before we move, moving away from Carlos and going to some of the other traders I want to talk about, I got a few shout outs. Farouz up 1100. Fatima, someone
Nice.
I've brought up a lot in the live. These are all live account shout outs. Farouz up 1100. Fatima up 1,000. Austin A, who we talked about the other week, he's up 3
Yeah.
grand. I mentioned John R,
Nice.
who's up over 8,000. And then Danny's trades. Danny Miraz, he's trading today too in his live account. He was up 3,300 at one point earlier. I turned around. He was up when I turned around for this. He was up about $1,000. So shout out to all those
Okay.
traders. We've got a couple people I want to talk about today. Two traders actually that are going to be kind of sharing a trading card. These are people we called up from XFA to live, and then 2 live traders that had banger weeks last week. I'll just share before we even get to them. Isaac R,
Let's
who
do
we've
it.
talked about a lot. He had a
Uh,
$16,000 winning week last week. We'll talk about him later. He's been talked about before because he's been trading lights out. And then Ronald S., who was one of the guys on the leaderboard, he had a $22,000 week last week. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But before we do, I want to pull up the trading card for Julian. Julian is one of the traders that we called up
hmm,
from live, called up from XFA to live last week. And they had traded 46 days in this XFA. So I
it's a long
wanted to get
time.
into their trading, but I also want to talk about the other trader here who is, we could have shared one card for two people because not only is Julian statistics mentioned here, but he's got a trading buddy. These guys are trading out of France. Not both of them are from Mazel, but there's another trader, Tom L, and they're obviously trading buddies because Julian's got 46 days traded on his XFA. Tom had 42 days. They're obviously working together and trading well together. They both got called
Awesome.
up from XFA to live, and I just wasn't going to share two cards, one for each, because they're doing everything the same, and that's totally fine. Uh, Before we look at the metrics, which, the metrics are okay here on the trading card, but a lot of trading days, and they've been trading well overall. And what I kind of brought this card up for was I want to talk, Eddie, with you about, finding a trading buddy and how, some people need that, some people don't want that. And if you are going to do it, if you are pursuing it, you know, making sure that you're picking the right trading buddy. So, Eddie, trading can be a lonely business. A lot of us are sitting in an
Oh
office
yeah.
doing this ourselves. Many of our friends don't know what the heck a commodity futures contract is. And then, it's tough and you're your own boss when you're trading. So, trading buddies, there's a lot of benefits to them. You can bounce ideas off of people. You don't want to just blindly follow someone else. You definitely, if you're going to have a trading buddy or you're considering one, the vetting process is extremely important with that. There's a lot of dummies out there, but there's a lot of smart people out there too.
Right.
So making sure that your goals align, as well as many other things align. Julian and Tom, they are really doing well as trading buddies. They're trading, almost every day together. They're getting in at the same time, out at the same time. And so they're strategizing well together. So I would imagine that neither one of these guys is probably in the driver's seat and the other one's following. I think that they're doing a coordinated effort of framing out what their assumptions are and, really trading as a true team because, like I said, all the wins are the same, all the losses are the same. These are two people that probably have a good level of respect for each other. And they're probably, like I said, framing out everything that they're doing. If you have a trading buddy and someone's calling a trade going long or short at this price and why, they should be telling you why they like it.
Why?
Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, it's really important that someone just says, "Oh, I think we need to go long here." Like, you should really be questioning, why are we going long here? Where are we getting out if we're wrong? Where do we think it's going to if we're right? And all those things. I mean, can you add any color, Eddie, on what you think you would be looking for in a trading buddy? Because I know we've talked markets before. You talk markets with Michael and Hogue and others here. It's a fun thing to be able to do. What's important to you when finding a trading buddy?
Well, this is a great example that you've put on the table for all of us. We are seeing success here. One of the things is you might hook up with somebody and you find out that they really weren't what you were looking for. The thing is, first off, I would say if you're looking for a trading buddy, go to our Discord channel and look at the conversation. Okay, we've got a lot of different channels in there. If you're trading just gold, if you're trading just crude, go in there, hang out for a while, and make yourself known. Introduce yourself to people. I'm from Germany. I'm trading this. I'm from London. I'm trading this. I'm from Iowa, and trying to find somebody that is trading similar to what you're trading. Obviously, you want to make sure they're the same products, okay? And
Yeah.
get to know these people first before you say, "Hey, you want to be my trading buddy?" Um, Take your time. All right. There's a lot of people in that Discord, and sometimes The trading buddy already has a trading buddy, but looking for a group. I mean, the three's never a crowd. Four, five, the people that do talk together. And I know that we've always offered. I mean, if you got a team of traders, okay, we do offer that you can have your own private room. But contact us about that regarding. But you want to find somebody that's very similar to what you're doing and has an open mind. And of course, Mick, as you mentioned it, even in chat, when somebody says, buy the crude here now, well, help me out. Why? Why should I do that?
Why? Yeah, what stars are
Why?
aligning to for you to say
Te-
that? Because a
right.
lot of
Teach
people will
me.
just shout out stuff like that, and that does you no good. It's
No
it's it's
good.
noise and it's frustrating. But yeah, if you're thinking about a trading buddy, definitely have an interview of sorts. You need to vet them out, and they should be vetting you out too. Like Eddie said, same product. What time frame are they trading on? What strategy are they implementing? Eddie and I could be trading S&Ps, but we're doing things wildly different. So are you trend following? Are you looking,
Right.
at price action, that kind of stuff? It's very, very important. And to the idea of groups, working with more than one person, that's going to complicate things as far as, timing of it's not a bad thing. It can be good for a number of reasons, but also, it might be easier just to work with one person. You always
First.
want to be,
Right.
yeah, you want to be working with, you want to be in, you don't always want to be the smartest person in the room. So seek out someone that sounds like they have more experience than you. Because like they say, if you're the smartest person in the room, it's time to find a different room, kind of thing. But there's people out there that really have long relationships, and profitable relationships working with other people, like Tom and
Right.
Julian are showing. So trade buddies aside, I want to go back and talk about their trading. You know, the metrics here on the winning days and the winning trades are not super impressive, but the risk reward is pretty nice there. I mentioned that it's good risk reward. They're making about $800 per winning trade and risking only 300 on the losing trade.
Wow.
So you can be right only half of the time if you've
Yeah.
got 2 to 1 or better risk reward, which these guys do. I also like that they're very selective. If you have the trade report up, Eddie, you'll see that they're averaging only 1.5 trades per day. So they're really everywhere from 1 trade per day to 4
Snipers.
trades per day. Yeah, they're snipers.
Right.
So they're very selective, which I would personally I would think maybe that would correlate to seeing a higher winning trade percentage. It doesn't, but it's okay because they've got their risk reward figured out. And if you can grind this type of trading activity out over 46 days or 42 days, like
Right.
the durations they've spent in their XFAs, you're going to be able to grind it out in a live account. And that's why we called them up to live. So I'm very happy to see these two, trading this way. And one thing that makes me the most happy about this grinding it out in these XFAs is these two traders are not looking to, they're not big swingers. They are grinding it out. They're not looking to make a ton of money on the day, and have these big swings that, could lead them to blown up accounts in short order. They're over a long period of time profitable. And that's something that's really impressive, kind of like what we were talking about with Carlos on that win streak. A long sample size of profitability to the tune of averaging $282 a day over 46 days in the XFA. So I really like this a lot. These two are going to be able to stand on their own 2 feet really nicely in the live account. So wanted to share that with everybody. But speaking of trading nicely in the live account, let's kick it over to Isaac's card. As
Okay.
I mentioned earlier, Isaac put up $16,000 last week in his live account. That was a 5-day win streak. So he's only been taking 2 trades per day. We've talked about Isaac a lot. Hogue got really excited when we talked about him last week because Isaac's been in our program since 2015. He's been funded multiple times. He kicked a ton of ass in some express funded accounts. We transferred those over to the live account, and this is what he's been doing in the live account since he started not too long ago. 8 short days, and of those 8 days, 5 of them were for a win streak of 16 grand. Really nice metrics on the winning trades, 72%. That comes with a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. So He's at about $1,375 on his winning trades and about $1,220 on the losing trades. Call it 1-to-1, but he's right more than he's right 3/4 of the time. So he doesn't have to have a risk reward that's better than 1-to-1. Unlike Julian and Tom, who I just talked about, with their risk
Right.
rewards kind of making up for being right only about half the time. So this has been good stuff. I like the hold times here with Isaac too. You always hear me talk about, catching a piece of the trend for the day. And, it's a lot easier to have a bias and ride out a part of the trend of the day. You don't have to bite the whole trend or catch a piece of the whole trend, but take a little bite out of it. He's holding his trades for about an hour and 48 minutes on the winners. And then he could be working on being a little bit more impatient with the losing trades because he's holding the losing trades for longer than the hour and 48 minutes on the winners. He's holding those losers for 2 hours and 20 minutes. So maybe cutting those losing trades off a little earlier could be beneficial. But again, Isaac's been knocking it out of the park. And, who am I to tell somebody who made 16,000 last week, to do anything differently than what they're doing, especially when they have those, high winning trades and winning day metrics. So just happy to give an
Mick,
update on Isaac here.
yeah,
Kick it away, Eddie. Yeah. What do you got?
I really like his discipline in total trades. I mean, he's 2 2 4 4 4 2 2 2, and putting up good numbers. It shows a lot of patience, much much more than me. But I gotta agree, those losers probably should be cut a little sooner. I mean, this is very impressive looking at this trade report. Consistency, patience, discipline. I'm checking them all off the boxes here. Very good trade report here, Mick.
Yeah. And to those times for holding losing trades, I mean, the trade reports don't tell me if he was in profitability, 2 hours of that 2 hours and 20 minutes. Like Hogue always reminds me when we're talking about, how much time you're spending in these winning trades. He could be spending, those trades could be profitable for a large majority of that and then turn against him. So
Right.
it's something to consider. It's something to keep an eye out for, but nothing to, indicate a change of behavior is necessary. So this was just kind of fun to, be able to share an update with everybody on Isaac.
Yeah.
Um,
Good stuff.
he's definitely a power player of ours. I think we're actually having him come on for an interview this upcoming Friday, I heard. So that'll
Sweet.
be exciting. Yeah, I'm supposed to be out of office on Friday, but I think I'd like to tune in for that one and watch it from home. Um, all right, so another funded trader I mentioned who had a really great week last week, a little better than Isaac actually. Let's pull up Ronald. Ronald, you've
Oh
seen
boy,
talked about
I've seen
every
it.
day lately. Yeah, he's been all over the leaderboard with a nice big
Yes.
account balance. Yeah, he's sitting pretty with 91,000 in his live account, and that's after $22,000 last week. He made 22 grand last week. Let me rattle off some of these P&Ls. So um, on Monday, put up $5,150. Tuesday made $18,000, 18,426 bucks. Wednesday and Thursday were losing days. Lost 5,300 on Wednesday, lost 5,200 on Thursday. People might be asking, $5,000 losing day. He's only in he's in a 150K. Yeah, we expanded his daily loss limit, his live account to 5,000 for him. If you are, if you have a healthy account balance like 90 grand or 70 grand where we were at the start of the week last week, and you're trading large size like Ronald is, we will work with these traders where it makes sense that, hey, we might want to expand a $3,000 daily loss limit to 5,000. So that's what we're seeing from him. And then Friday ended the week strong with an 8,900, actually call it $9,000 winning day, for the tune of 22,000. So really
Yeah.
good stuff. Ronald is not only do they trade size, but they're pretty darn active in this NASDAQ market. So
You
they're
could
they're
see.
somewhat of scalping, at 55 trades per day. This is all based off of 12 days in the live account. So they're doing 55 trades per day on average. Short hold times, 3.5 minutes on the winners, 5 minutes on the losers. Risk reward is skewed per contract. They're making about $174. on the winners, and then per contract on the losses, it's 315. So, obviously those big winning days are making up for, some of that. Um, but I mean, just happy to share that Ronald's been, doing really, really well in the 12 days in his live account. I haven't seen him in the markets today yet either. So,
Okay.
yeah.
You
Is
know,
there anything
if
you see on Ronald's trade report of these 12 days he's traded? Because I've kind of spoken my piece on him. He's got to
okay.
work on risk reward, got to work on hold times, but he's kicking
Yes.
ass.
From what I see here, if the opportunity is there, he's putting in a trade because we averaged out would you say 55 total trades
Hmm.
on an average, but I mean some of these days are single digits, some of these days are triple digits. So the larger trade total trades, he is putting up money here. It does seem like when he is down on a day, he's shutting it down. Looks like he's got his personal loss limit around that 5 Gs.
Yeah.
I've seen that,
Hmm.
so he's no more, no less. I'm shutting it down. I hit my DLL, done for the day. And I think
Yeah.
that's what's moving him forward is not rolling the dice, not flipping the coin, and saying, come on, one more trade, one more trade, one more trade. And I think that's why we're seeing him on shoulder tap here. I mean, 22,000 last
Yeah.
week. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, we should do a poll like what's he going to make this week, or when is he going to bring that $91,000 account balance up over 100 grand? It could happen this week. Do we
Could
want to do a
happen.
poll, or if we can't do a poll, at least let me know what you think, Eddie. What's he going to do this week?
Just looking at this, he ended Friday on a high note, but he had 2 bad days. So I think he's going to be a little cautious. We're not seeing him trade today yet, unless he's waiting for the right opportunity, but he's not a sniper trader. I'm going to say he's taking today off. I think he'll come back tomorrow.
Okay.
I really, I'm on the fence with this one, but I do see him being positive since ending the week nicely yesterday.
Mhm.
And one thing also is, hey, if you got a good trade day coming in the next day, don't be in a hurry to give it back. Be selective, be frugal, be stingy. All right, look for that right opportunity it's in your favor.
Yeah,
Don't give it back.
absolutely. I'm happy you brought that up because I kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit myself, Eddie, too. As we're talking about the $5,000 personal loss limit, and I'm looking at, how well he did last week, $22,000. It's a stellar week. With that $5,000 loss limit, that $22,000 winning week could get wiped out in as little as, pretty much 4 days, give or take,
Right.
4 losing days at 5,000 wipes out 20,000 of the 22,000. So, you want to be, we always talk about like being very alert and aware of what are, you know, um, how many days we've had like losing days in a row, and being able to keep track of that and put yourself in check. If you have, 3 losing days in a row, if you've got a $3,000 daily loss limit and you have 3 losers in a row, it's 9 grand. So like as
Right.
quickly as the money can come on these $18,000 winning days, like Ronald had last week on Tuesday, it can go very, very quickly. Now, chances are, someone who's pretty decent at trading is not going to have 4 losing days in a row, but it certainly happens. We've talked about who was it, Hughes, our trader who's in the 100K club from
Right.
France. He had that $40,000 winning day, and then he followed it up with, I
Hmm.
think it was like 13 or 14 losing days in a row. That I think it was 14 losing days in a row of 3,000 or more, that wiped
Yeah.
out that $40,000 winning day and the days preceding that. So,
Right.
yeah, a lot of times, we take some of our biggest losses after our biggest wins. So something to keep in mind.
Something to
But
keep in
good
mind.
stuff here. Yeah, yeah. I
Yes.
see we're up on
Okay.
time.
Well,
So,
yes, we are, Mick. And Mick, it's always great to see you, talk to you. Hopefully, we can do this again soon. You have yourself a
yeah.
great day, and all the best to all our traders here at Top Step. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, we do have Power Players, and we've got D Time Dolby, Peter Tuckman, and David Green. I'm sticking around. Mick, you sticking around?
I'm sticking around. I got to get back to work,
All
but I'm
right,
going to have it up on the background.
you got it. All right, we're going to take
Yeah.
a timeout. We'll be right back with Power Players.